This is Whitney with Faith, Trust, and Christ. We hope you guys are having a blessed day. If you are new here and have stumbled across to our channel, welcome. We'd love for you to stick around. We like to take you on travel adventures, talk a lot about Disney, and do some reviews. So today on the channel, we are going to be talking about Disney transportation, everything that Disney offers for you to get around the Walt Disney World Resort. So before we begin, I have to tell a little funny on myself. I've already filmed this video, but yet here I am refilming it. I accidentally filmed it in slow-mo, so here we are. So Disney transportation, for the majority of it, it is free. We're gonna get into it a little bit more, but Disney transportation does stay on the Walt Disney World property within that Disney bubble. So if you do need that transportation to take you off property, say you don't have a car, you came from the airport, you will have to rent an Uber, do private transportation, or even do a Lyft. So Disney transportation will not take you like to SeaWorld, to Universal. You will have to rent off-property resources. That free transportation is not gonna get you there. So one thing to understand is that Disney transportation, not all of it can take you all over Walt Disney World Resort. So, for example, the Monorail. The Monorail will only take you to 2 different parks, and the main one is Magic Kingdom and Epcot. It will not take you to Hollywood Studios or Animal Kingdom. So before we jump into all the transportation options, we do kind of need to go over the Transportation and Ticket Center, the TTC. So the TTC is the main hub that's gonna get you to Magic Kingdom. Now, Magic Kingdom is the main part that the TTC will get you to, but it can, using the monorail, you can get over to Epcot. So if you are staying off property and you are driving to Magic Kingdom, you will park at the TTC, and then you can either ride the ferry boats or you can ride the monorail to get you to the Magic Kingdom. Also, if you are staying at a Good Neighbor Resort, these are resorts that are on Disney property, but they are not owned by Disney. Those resorts will actually drop you off right at the TTC. It will not take you right to Magic Kingdom like on-property buses do. So that's just something to note, that if you are staying at Good Neighbor Resorts, it will not take you straight to Magic Kingdom. So the ferry is kind of like a large boat. I'm sure you have seen large ferries before. There are 2 levels to it. The bottom level, where you can push your stroller right in, you can wheel your wheelchair right on in. Then the second level, you will have to climb stairs to get up there, but if it is a crowded day, I recommend going up and riding up there. Sometimes you can find an open bench, so that's kind of nice, especially if you were riding home on the ferry to get you back to the TTC after a long day at Magic Kingdom. Those benches are really nice. So now let's talk about the monorail transportation. So kind of in correlation with the TTC, at the TTC there are 3 different lines that you can get on to ride the monorail. So the monorail at the TTC has 3 different lines. The first one's gonna get you straight to Magic Kingdom. The second one is the Monorail Resorts. It's gonna stop briefly at each of the monorail resorts, starting at the Polynesian, and then it goes to the Grand Floridian. And then it will make a stop to Magic Kingdom, and then take you to the Contemporary, and then back to the TTC. So it just makes a big old loop. And then at the TTC, the 3rd line is to Epcot. So if you are staying at any of the monorail resorts, you can actually ride the monorail on over to the TTC, transfer over to the monorail line to Epcot, and you can go straight to Epcot from there. So the monorail itself is pretty much the most iconic transportation that Disney offers. When you think of Disney, you think of transportation, this is probably one of the first transportation options that you think of. And honestly, it's my personal favorite transportation. I've got so many nostalgic memories. I love the monorail. It's just Disney. It just makes a Disney trip. So when you are riding the monorail, it may or may not be a perk for you, and if you are staying there, you will have to go through security each and every time. For our family, this is a nice perk. If you're going to Magic Kingdom, go through security, get on the monorail, and you can skip those Magic Kingdom security lines. So another form of transportation that Disney offers, and it is also free, is the boats. So I do want to iterate this because I have heard this in conversations at Disney World as well as even on social media. The waterways at Disney World are not connected. You cannot ride one boat from Magic Kingdom and then ride the same boat over to Disney Springs. The waterways are not connected. So there are 3 waterways in Disney World. There's the Magic Kingdom area, the Disney Springs area, as well as the Epcot and Hollywood Studios. The Epcot and Hollywood Studios are connected as one waterway. So if you are staying, say like at the boardwalk, you can actually go to 2 different parks riding the boat. You can go to Epcot and you can also go to Hollywood Studios. So something that you may or may not know is you can get wet on these boats. Depending on the boat that you are riding, you can get wet on it, especially if it is raining. So that's just something to be aware of. You might enjoy, especially in the nice heat of Florida, you might enjoy getting some mist, but if it is pouring down rain and it is in the middle of winter, like our last trip, you may not enjoy it as much.
Food was good. The trip over here was pretty bad. It was raining, had to take a boat ride. It was like being on the deadliest catch. It was pretty bad. I was scared because I can't swim.
So if you are taking a stroller on the boats or water taxi, whatever you call it, it may or may not have to be folded. It all depends on the type of boat that you're going on. So wheelchair users, you may have to transfer out of your wheelchair, and some boats are not accessible, but some are. It all depends. Before you get in that boat line, I would ask a cast member and just double check. A lot of the boats there at Magic Kingdom that go from the Grand Floridian to the Polynesian, those boats are not wheelchair accessible, but I would just ask a cast member and double check before you wait in line for that transportation. So the Skyliner, it is Disney's newest transportation. It is like a highway in the sky, like a little gondola that takes you up. It can take you to Epcot, to Hollywood Studios, and there are different Skyliner resorts that you can stay at. Now the Skyliner parks that you can go to is Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and there are different Skyliner resorts. So if you are interested on staying on the Skyliner Resort, I recommend going and looking at those. There is Pop Century, Art of Animation, Caribbean Beach, and the Riviera. So some things about the Skyliner, if you are riding it, it is high up in the air. So if you are afraid of heights, you may not enjoy this transportation. Disney does offer other transportation options, so that's just something to note. Also, the Skyliner will shut down due to inclement weather, so that is something to note as well. Things to note about this Skyliner, it does not have AC in it. It is like a little box, but there are little window slats so that as you are going high in the air, the wind can come in, and it does get kind of breezy in there, and it's very nice. Also, if you are on the Skyliner, don't panic, but sometimes the Skyliner does stop for a brief moment. Sometimes if it's longer than a brief moment, they'll just come over like the little intercom system and let you know how long it's gonna be. Typically, it's not more than a minute or 2, but they do give you that little warning of it is stopping briefly. Typically, it's just to reload someone with a wheelchair or a family needing to take a little bit of an extra moment just to get in and out of the Skyliner. So if you are a wheelchair user, the Skyliner is wheelchair accessible. You will just need to get in a separate line and let the cast member know, and they will get your gondola right to you. So if you have little ones and you are taking a stroller to Disney World, if you have a single stroller, you can push your stroller right on into the Skyliner. It makes it very nice. If you have a double stroller and it is a tandem, one in front of the other. Like mine, I have one. You can push it right on in and it'll fit nicely into the Skyliner. Now, if you are a side-by-side and you have a double stroller, you have to fold it up. And I highly recommend when you are waiting in line, go ahead, fold it up and get it prepared for the Skyliner. Personally, as a family, love the Skyliner, especially my little guy. He thinks it's a Disney ride before he even gets to the parks. He gets so excited, but we really enjoy the Skyliner. The Disney buses, our last mode of free transportation. The Disney buses are the old faithful, the tried and true. They're gonna take you all over Walt Disney World property. So the Disney buses, they're not the most luxurious mode of Disney transportation, but they will get you from point A to point B. So the Disney buses are getting a new fleet. They're becoming a little more wheelchair friendly. They're getting more character wraps and pretty unique with that. My kiddos get so excited when they see which bus is coming to pick them up, whether it be Mickey Mouse or Cinderella. They just get excited about that. So Disney buses will take you all over Walt Disney World property. It will take you from your resort to the parks, or even from the resort that you're staying at to Disney Springs. Now, one thing to note, you cannot use the Disney buses to go straight from one resort to the other. So for example, say you have a dining reservation at the Riviera at Topolino's. You're staying at Fort Wilderness Lodge. You will need to use the bus transportation to ride over to Hollywood Studios and then ride the Skyliner on over to the Riviera, or ride the bus to Animal Kingdom and then go on over from that bus and ride the bus to the Riviera. So some bus tips for you guys. There's going to be a little TV at your bus station, at your resort, or even at the parks, and it's going to tell you what the approximate arrival of your bus is going to be. If you would like another bus hack, I will have that at the end for you. So minivans, these are the Disney transportation that is not free. You will have to pay for this Disney transportation. Now the minivans do stay on property. They stay within that Disney bubble. It's kind of like a Lyft or an Uber. You just call and you actually use the Lyft app and call for a minivan and they will be right there. Now they can take you anywhere within the Disney bubble, Walt Disney World Resort, but it cannot take you outside the resort. I've heard a couple people say that it can take you to and from the airport. Minivans will not, but they do offer private transportation in Orlando that you can look up, as well as MCO Transport. I've used them, the buses, before, and we really like those as well. Now, in order to call for a minivan to take you wherever on Walt Disney World property, you will have to download the Lyft app and you can look for minivans. Once it's open and you select your location and everything, you can pull it right up and that minivan will come right to your resort. Now, a lot of families like to use the minivans because it gets you to your destination just a little bit faster. Say you have a dining reservation, maybe at BOMA at Animal Kingdom Lodge. You might need to get there a little bit faster. Using the minivans can get you right there. You won't have to do any bus transfers. Now it is a little bit more expensive, but at least we'll get you there a little bit faster. Now minivans do offer 2 car seats if you are a family with little ones. There are different types of minivans, just depending on your party size, and if you are a wheelchair user, there are vans that are accessible to you. That also goes with the price. The price will fluctuate just depending on the type of minivan that you will need for your family. Let me know down below your favorite Disney transportation. If there's emoji to go with it, leave it for me. I'd love to see which one is your favorite. If you have enjoyed this transportation video, we would love for you to stick around and like and subscribe. We hope you guys are having a blessed day. We will see you real soon.